Namaskaram.
We're back. All right. Now we are gearing towards really the business end of the IPL. And we are here to preview the last match for RCB in the regular season versus LSG, last match of the regular season of the IPL. One of the biggest matches in RCB history, I think. We'll get into that. So, how are you guys feeling?
Good. I want to say actually the playoffs have already started, seriously.
It's a fact. It's a fact, honestly, for us.
No,
Yeah, you know why?
100%.
Because
Top
we need top two.
Yes. Yeah, because if you lose, you're still in playoffs, but top two gives us the best chance. Whether Josh Hazlewood is going to play or not, we're going to talk about it, but we need this win. So
Yes.
that's the playoff right there.
Plus, our eliminator record stinks.
Yeah.
Bad.
Not good. Not good. Yep.
How you feeling, brother?
Yeah, nervous. And even as the, I guess, positive guy you could label me, I understand the importance of this match. Obviously, in the playoffs, but I mean, huge effect one way or the other, whether we win or lose. And it's going to be against, pesky LSG.
Pesky.
And, underperformed this year, obviously didn't do that well, but at the same time, we know what their top order can do, which we'll get to. But whatever we got to do to get this win, especially now that we don't have to worry about net run rate, which at least is good. That's what we have to do, and we just need to be in qualifier one at any cost. So nervous, but cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
Awesome.
The good thing is that guy, the signature guy, is not playing.
No, he's playing.
Yeah.
I think he's going to play. He got suspended for one match, and I think
game,
he's going to be back.
For next season, he might. Okay.
Yeah.
So, our job is to get you guys excited, hyped for this major RCB match. Let's get right to it. First, we must set the stage with the points table, and RCB's famous for calculators and net run rate and blah, blah. But it's very simple here. The table, Gujarat is done. They played 14 matches. They have 18 points. Punjab and Mumbai will play a virtual, not a knockout, but a knockout for the top two. The winner tomorrow gets a top two spot. The loser doesn't get a top two spot. Very simple. And for us, win and in for top two. No net run rate, no calculations, nothing. Because we will get to 19 points. The only other team that can get to 19 points is Punjab, potentially. So we control our own destiny. That doesn't get you fired up for the match coming up on Tuesday. I don't know what will. We have not been in the top two since 2016 at RCB. This is a big deal for us. Let's give you the overseas update, as there have been some changes for the next match. The major update, Deepak, I'll turn it over to you. Josh Hazlewood is in India with the team. There's a screenshot of his backpack and luggage posted by the RCB Twitter handle. Your thoughts on Hazel God's return?
Guess who's back again. JD's back. Tell a friend. Evident without me. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. But I am beyond thrilled. As I talked about in the last episode, just a major shot in the arm, I think, for us, especially after that Sunrisers match. He's our best bowler. You could argue he's our best player. Our two worst bowling performances have been without him. And so having him, especially for the playoffs now, he won't be leaving before then. Especially if we get top two, but worst case, even without it, still he'll be available for the whole season now, for the rest of the way in the most important matches. And it's just big news. Enough cannot be stated about it. And I sort of think about it where Mumbai had a slow start to the season. Boomerang comes back. What do? Just rattle off a bunch of wins. They get their ace bowler back.
Oh, good point.
They win the IPL last year. Main bowler Mitchell Stark, he leaves. I know they had other changes, Shreyas Iyer among others, but they weren't the same team this year. Having that guy as your ace fast bowler in the format of T20 and IPL cricket, you can't replace somebody like that, and I'm just so happy that he's back.
That's a great point. So I hope he plays. I have not heard any confirmation that he's playing against LSG. I see no reason why he wouldn't play. His fitness is good enough that he made the trip to India. So hopefully he gets picked. We'll get to the playing 12 in a second. Dad, your boy will have to wait till next year for further
Yeah.
contributions from our star boy. He's off to England,
Yeah.
and Gidi's off to South Africa. Muzarabani was named as a replacement, but he's still playing a test match away from India, so he's not physically in India. Tim Seifert is going to be added to this list, but he's also not in India. So going into this match, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 overseas players that are available for selection. Unfortunately, Tim David is probably not going to play because of his fitness and his hamstring. So really only 5. All right, here is what I think is the updated playing 12. I have included Liam Livingston reluctantly because of Tim David's hamstring injury. Slotted Hazlewood back in his rightful place. Dad, walk me through this team and any changes you potentially see.
So we talked about it in the previous episode. Patidar has to play the full game, and I hope he's fit enough to be the captain. So that's crucial. So I don't know who else can come in place of Mayank. Whether he needs another chance is a question. Romario, I agree. Jitesh, I agree. Liam, only if Tim David can play, otherwise Tim David. Then you have Krunal, Yash, and Bowie, straightforward. Hazlewood, whether he plays or not, it's a big question mark. We don't know because, Australian Cricket Board wants him to be there for the World Test Championship. Not that they don't have a very good substitute. Come on, Hazlewood should be playing here. I'm just being selfish for RCB here. If Hazlewood doesn't play, then I think Tushara.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think we should go with the full attack team so that we try to win and get to the top 2. I can't think of anybody to replace Mayank, unfortunately, on the bench. I'm looking at the bench, and I can't think of.
Well, let me throw some options at you. None of this is, I think, going to happen, but Bandage we've talked about. I don't think they're going to go to him. But what if they take Swapnil, play him instead of Mayank, put Swapnil below Livingston as a handy batter down the order, and move everybody up one.
And also you have a bowling option with him. Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. I agree with you. Other than that, I don't see any other changes.
Any thoughts on? There's a lot of hype. Maybe it's because he has a lot of cool social media clips, but he's apparently supposed to be a big hitter also. Swastik Chikara, giving him a chance at number 3, I think it's a big call over somebody that's experienced like Mayank. But he does fit the Andy Flower mold. Would you? No? Okay.
Yeah.
The thing is, we are too late in the playoffs.
Yeah.
If we were not in the playoffs, then, Urvil Patel and all those guys came and, made some runs and then say, oh, bright future for next year. But it's too late. Unless you really don't want Mayank, the team management, and Patidar is not completely fit, then he could find a place in the team, not out of trying to get into the team because they want him.
Yeah, just because of we have no other choice.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, by default. I would say though with Mayank, I think definitely for this match, you have to play him, all things considered, too important of a match. You don't want to disrupt that continuity, maybe, give him another chance. What I would say though is that if he struggles again and maybe there's a void at that number 3 spot or with Mayank, with what you're saying about Swastik, maybe, and again, maybe they may not do it for the playoffs. If you really want to be bold and take a chance and you really feel like you can, up your ceiling and strengthen your batting lineup, even if his first match is in qualifier 1 or eliminator, whatever it is, maybe you give Swastik a chance then. So I would say that, but I would say it just depends on how Mayank plays on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Overall, the lineup looks good. The only thing I would say is, I would say Krunal is, maybe he has that reputation as a big hitter, but I would, in my opinion, and again, maybe they won't do this, but I would slide him up the order like they did in the Delhi match, because I think he needs some more balls to get going in terms of getting a rhythm, and then he'd be able to, bop and do all that, where he's not, I would say, that capability like a Shepherd or a Jitesh who can just play a quick cameo with the wide range of shots and things like that. I think if he comes at number 3 or 4, he could have an impact and more of an impact instead of being sort of relegated down the order, and then it's a little bit of a waste after that. But
Yeah.
You just gave me another idea, and they actually might do this if they listen to you and move Krunal up the order. They could play Swastik down the order as a hitter and take Mayank out altogether. So Krunal 3, Patidar 4, Jitesh, Shepard, Livingston, Swastik, and he could be handy and play like 60-70% of the Tim David role. So that's another thought. That's a good point about Krunal moving
A
up
very
the order.
good point. Plus also this left-right combination discussion.
Yep, that too.
Yep.
So this is our 12. Let's see how close to this we actually get on Tuesday. We have another few set of contingency options that we shared, but I think this is going to be the 12. Moving on to the LSG playing 12, or what I like to call the LSG batting 3 and bowling 6. What are your first impressions of this team, Dad?
First three is terrific. All three great players. It's hard to have 100 and have another 100 in the next match. So I'm hoping Mitch Marsh will cool down. Nicholas Puran, however, is due for a big one, which he hasn't. So I worry about him. And Markram is a dangerous player, but you expect him to, let's say, 60 of 30 or something like that at best. But the most dangerous player, in my opinion, even though he hasn't done that all season, is still Puran.
Deepak, you used the word pesky in the last podcast episode to describe LSG. What makes them pesky?
Yeah. So I think they have that sort of Sunrisers potential nuclear sort of like dangerous capability where it is really just those top three and potentially Bunt if he can build off of the last innings he had, along with the same theme as Sunrisers where they're playing, free, not have to worry about any winning or losing or anything like that, but more so just going out there, win or lose, play their best, enjoy it. So just less pressure overall. And those factors and, their top three, I mean, those top three especially are extremely dangerous. And I'll admit I'm very scared of them, especially if Hazlewood can't play. So we'll see about that. But if we can mitigate their damage enough with those first three, I think we're fine, especially, their bowling attack. Rati's been good, so he could be a bit of an issue. But besides that, I mean, Avesh Khan, not really scared of him. Akash Deep, not really scared of him. Akash Singh, no. O'Rourke, no. So it's really the LSG top. It's the big three, and then it's everyone else, in my opinion.
Let me just add a quick point about their bowling. Last match, they didn't even pick Ravi Bishnoi, which I found interesting. They went with lone spinner Shabazz Ahmed, who's ex-RCB guy. And he's not a regular spinner.
Right.
He's a handy bowler, but you can't bank on him for 4 overs. So they've really lost confidence in Ravi Bishnoi. Digvesh Rati was suspended for 1 match because he kept, getting in trouble. I think he'll be back for this match, but he'll also be their lone spinner outside of Ayush Badoni or somebody like that, some Markram, some part-timer. So 1 frontline spinner and 4 seamers makes me feel better because our batting lineup tends to prefer pace from top to bottom. So I'm definitely not scared of their bowling. I'm scared of their top 3. Yep. Really only actually 2, I hope I don't regret saying this, but Marsh and Puran are the guys that can just win the match by themselves. I think Markram, I can agree with that. Like baby 50 may be destructive, but Marsh and Puran can literally just
take the game away.
They can just go nuclear, like Deepak said. So, there are impressions of LSG. Just to drive this point home, I did some quick math. Here is the relevance of their top 3.
Wow.
Their team has scored 2,505 total runs this season. 1,500 of them have been scored by the top 3. 61% of their runs have been scored by the top 3. Now, this is a very familiar formula for RCB fans because this is how it's been for us for like a decade.
For a decade.
Especially those years, Kohli, ABD, Gale, the big 3.
That's right.
Followed by KGF days. with Coley, Glenn, and Faf. So
Yep.
we're very familiar with this, and I can't use a better word than pesky, because on their day they can beat anyone.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna really, really pray that Hazlewood plays, because I think Hazlewood is good for getting at least one of them out, if not two. Without Hazlewood, I'm genuinely terrified about what they can do. And I could easily see no pressure on these guys. Last match, they come out, they swing free, and next thing you know, 230 is on the board. So, what do you guys make of this?
Yeah, I agree with you completely. I think, we need Hazelwood. If not some miracle, if we don't play, or they don't play Hazelwood, some miracle to get 2 out of the 3 out in 7 overs.
Pretty much, yeah. No, that pretty much all agree. We pretty much summed it up where you just, I mean, you can't let any of these guys take over the match like they have the capability of doing, especially Marsh and Puran, and just crossing my fingers that Hazelwood can play for this match as well, because I am very confident he can, at minimum, worst case, get one of them out and at least two of them out and potentially all three out. And it just strengthens our bowling attack overall in terms of confidence and overall production. The eye test and numbers both back that up. So it's just, yeah, but if we don't have him, it could look very eerily similar to the Sunrisers match, and that's why this match is a little scary and on sort of dangerous waters, if you will.
Yeah.
But we shall see.
I'm going to make one prediction. I think Markram and Marsh, both of the openers, are very susceptible to the slow ball. So I am predicting that either Bhuvaneshwar or Yash, who both have really good slow balls, can deceive them and get them to hit one straight up and get them out. And then Hazelwood, please do your best for Puran, because that guy is terrifying. So this is how important their top three is. Let's hope that the coaching staff comes up with a good plan to get them out cheaply.
Another thing which is just a point, generally with the Lucknow,
Yeah,
you've seen last few years, there are some pitches which are like 150, 160. We haven't seen that at all this year.
they changed the soil.
Yeah,
That's why. So they made it. They relayed the pitch,
yeah.
and they go back and forth between black and red soil. So they got a lot of criticism for that. And I would be very surprised if we saw one of those types of like rank turners or slow and low pitches for this match coming up. These are going to be flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was seeing after the Sunrisers RCB match that Jay Devunatgar was basically saying how he was hoping these pitches would be in Hyderabad for their matches, and he was kind of jokingly saying / implying that they could have won more matches with that style with flatter pitches and things like that. So I expect it to be more the same, high scoring, different from
Yeah.
what we've seen at Lucknow and the Ikana Stadium in the past.
Agreed. Let's get to our last talking point. Honestly, I feel like we've been avoiding this topic for last 3-4 matches now, but we can't avoid it any longer. It's Rajat Patidar's form. It has taken absolute nosedive in the last 10 innings, really. He only has 150 against Mumbai. His top score, other than that 50 against Mumbai, is 25, and that was off 23 balls. He's striking at like 100 if you look here, maybe even less than 100 if you look at the runs scored and the balls eaten up. He is so integral to our batting lineup in the middle overs. There's such a premium in the IPL on middle overs hitting when the field is spread. It's harder than hitting in the power play. Plus, his fingers may or may not be healthy. Is there anything that gives you guys optimism for Rajat Patidar to contribute well with the bat for the biggest match of the season?
You want to go first, Deepak?
Sure. Yeah, it's yeah, we've been on this for a while. His form has just not been good. Basically since the first 2 to 3 matches of the season, he hasn't been the same with the injury and things like that. What I would say is that LSG's bowling lineup is very weak. So if there is an opportunity for him to regain some of that form, especially in a big match like this, I would say my only true hope would be him being able to come to form against a sort of weaker bowling attack like that. Besides that, I don't know. It's tough because it's not look good. It doesn't look right. He's not timing the ball well. Running between the wickets isn't there. The power isn't there. What he used to be able to do to spinners, that's not there anymore. So it's just I don't know how it's gonna fix itself in the long term. But that one thing for Tuesday's match makes me a little bit hopeful.
I think it's a lot of it. I don't think it's anything to do with captaincy, in my opinion, only.
Okay.
I think it's more to do with being him completely fit. And then if he has an injury to the hand, and it takes a lot of power to hit, that is affecting his game, I think. I still think he's a good player. And then I think he's going to come good as long as he's close to 100% fit. And his running between the wickets has been an issue, and I think that's something he needs to fix. That's beyond the injury, because if you have a
Yeah.
finger injury, you still should be able to kind of run between the wickets unless has other injuries, which we don't know. Couple of catches he dropped were not easy, but regulation kind of catches. And I think it's the fitness, which may not be 100%, which may be affecting his game, I think personally.
Maybe, man, but if that's the case, everybody has a little niggle at this point in the IPL. I mean, we know about the finger, but if he's carrying some other injury, I hate to say it, but then he shouldn't be playing. Then I want to get Swastik Chikara in there. If we're going to be subjected to 60% of Rajat Patidar, look at these scores. What 12 off 13, 1 off
Yeah.
3, 6 of the 11. We can't keep hiding him in the batting lineup. So if he is really truly, if he has a broken finger, say, on either hand, because you need both to hit sixes, he shouldn't be playing. I don't care that he's captain. We can figure out captaincy. He needs to be fit and firing. You're saying he's going to come good against LSG, but you're also saying he may be carrying other injuries. So which one is it? You think he's going to come good or
No,
not?
no. We know about the finger injury, right? We know about it. So that is affecting his hitting, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
But the fact that he also didn't come onto the field and captain, he could have just been the captain last game and then stayed on and off, which he didn't do. So that
That's
tells
true.
me that there is something which we may not know, is what I'm saying.
All right. Interesting. Well, okay. I would feel better if he comes out and captains then. We'll
Yeah,
see what
I want
happens.
him as a
Same thing.
captain and then go full, and then I want him as a captain playing the whole game on Tuesday.
Got you.
Yeah.
There you have it. Even though I was a little harsh on Rajat Patidar, I'm fully behind him. I would love to see him come good. He is one of my favorite batsmen to watch when he's on song. Let's hope he regains some of the early season form on Tuesday. Okay. We have made it to the last regular season match prediction in the IPL. It is the prediction time. Now, I want to set the scene before we get to actually making the prediction. In my opinion, this is the biggest RCB regular season match in the history of RCB over 18 years. I also will argue that it is bigger than all of the eliminators we have played in RCB history. The only matches that are bigger than this, in my opinion, are the 3 finals that we've played in, any qualifier 1s that we've played in, there have been a few, and any qualifier 2s that we've played in, they've been a few. This match is more important than all the eliminators because if you win this match, you are closer to the final than if you win the eliminator. If you win the eliminator, you have to win the next match to get to the final. If you win this match, you have 2 chances to get to the final. This match is also bigger than last year's match against CSK. I know how dramatic it was. Believe me, I want to make fun of CSK any chance I get. But this match for RCB is bigger than that match because that was to sneak into the eliminator. This is for top 2.
Yeah.
So that makes this a top at least 10 most important match in RCB history coming up on Tuesday. Do you guys agree with that before we make our prediction?
I completely agree with it. I know you are well aware of the statistics that if you are in the seed 3 or 4, the chances of you winning an IPL trophy is very small, and there's only one team which has done it in 2016, and we'll stop at that. We'll stop at that.
Yeah.
So that means that
to your point,
this match is enormous.
Yeah, to your point, the odds of winning the IPL from the eliminator from 3 or 4 is 1 out of 17, whatever that is. The odds of winning the IPL from top 2 is 16 out of 17. I mean, that tells you everything you need to know.
Yes.
So, without further ado, now that we have built this up to as much as it can be built up, who is going to win on Tuesday and why, Deepak?
Yep. So, I know RCB is going to win if Josh Hazlewood plays. If he doesn't play, I think 55-45, I think we'll win. So it depends on that. But I think so I think it just depends on his health, his fitness, things like that. And whatever it is, it's just one of those games you just have to dig deep. You got to find a way, because I agree with what you guys are saying. This is one of the biggest RCB matches ever. Hopefully, in my opinion, I'm actually rooting for Punjab in the next match, because obviously whoever wins there is who we would play in qualifier 1 if we win. And so I think that's also a big match, and hopefully Punjab can come through for us, assuming if we win. But I think it really just depends on the availability of Hazlewood and containing their top 3, etc. Easier said than done. We'll see how it goes, but either way, I think we'll win. And it's one of those things, haven't been in the top 2 since 2016. Otherwise you have to play 3 matches in 5 days, and you have to go win back to back to back to win. Much more room for error with top 2. And so it's just one of those matches, whether you win by 1 run or 100 runs, or 1 wicket or 9 wickets, you just got to get it done. So that's the message I deliver to RCB players, fans, coaches, whoever. It's now or never. Let's go.
Heavy stuff. Dad?
Yeah, we are sense of urgency, so we win and we go to top 2. I'm actually not worried about who the other 2 is if we get to the top 2, because you get another chance, okay?
Yeah.
And then I'll give you the scenario. If Mumbai comes, we lose to them, but we have another chance. And then if we face them again in the finals, law of averages will catch up, and we win the right game, is what I'm thinking. So get to the top 2, we're going to win. I agree with Deepak. If Hazlewood is there, the chances become much higher. Even otherwise, we will win. Thank God we don't have to open our calculators tonight.
Nicely said. I also think we're going to win. I'm going to make it 3-0. I did spoil my only 1-loss record by predicting a win against SRH. Even though I didn't feel right about that match. Something was off. This match is the only thing that scares me is just like the historical context weighing so much on the players and burdening them, because one team, when we show up on Tuesday, is going to have everything to gain, everything to lose. And the other team, like 3 hours later, is going to be crushing pina coladas and beers, and they're going to be like ready to go wherever they're going to go. So that type of no pressure environment, we've already seen it 3 times in a row. CSK comes out, just smashes Gujarat Titans all over the park. Same with Delhi. They just, beat a much superior team. I think no pressure in the IPL really frees up all these talented players, and it's not going to be easy. But I feel something about this team this year that's different from past years. That's why I'm picking RCB to win. I think we're more together. I think we've shown the ability also that we can bounce back from losses. I'm the classic, the world is over after every loss. But we've shown that, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think we've lost 2 matches in a row this year. I'm going
no, we have not.
Yeah.
Just knocked on wood.
So,
one was a no result, the previous one.
was no result. So I think that this is primed for us to finish in the top two. I think we're going to get great support in Lucknow. I think we're going to have more support than the home team. And the whole pina colada beer, 1 foot in the vacation thing can work against them too. If you get them 30 for 3, then they might not want to be there and dig in and build a total, and they might just fold. So you got to make them want to go on vacation sooner and give it to us. Easier said than done, which is why Hazlewood is such a vital piece to this. I'm going to assume he plays. I'm going to say RCB win. I'm going to say if we bat first, we win by 20 runs. If we bat second, I'll say we win by a tense 5-wicket result in the end. We'll probably chase down something like 190.
Yeah, I'll say if we bat first, win by 25 runs, 25 to 30 runs. Bat second, win by 4 wickets.
I just need the W.
Bro,
Yeah, because the margin, I'm not interested. I want the W. So
he never gives the margin. He's just like, I don't care.
No. I did give the margin for Chennai
who
game.
cares about that?
Chennai game.
Then give the margin again. We won.
20 runs.
Okay. That's my
20
margin
runs,
too.
and I would also go with 5 or 6 wicket win.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. I think this is the most intense pre-match show that we've done all season. And we're with RCB all the way, man. This is such a big match. We're gonna talk to you guys after the conclusion of it. Go RCB, and hopefully we'll be speaking to you from the top 2 on Wednesday. RCB.
RCB. Let's go.